What's good, homies? Today is freaking forearm and hand day. Yes, you heard it. Forearm and hand day. You guys might be thinking, how in the world are you supposed to grow your hands? Dude, hands got muscles too. And they got some pretty big muscles if you're willing to train them. Otherwise, they'll just be small. But either way, we're going to start off with some plate pinches to get those lumbricals. I'll put up a picture of an anatomy chart to show you guys what lumbricals are. But if you do that, I actually think that it would make your palms wider because they are literally muscles that are in between the knuckles of your hand that go down your palms. So you use those muscles when you write, whenever you put your fingers kind of like this L shape, right? It straightens out this joint and it flexes this joint. Right? So it does both those things at the same time. It allows you to pinch. So that's what we're going to do today. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a plate pinch for time. I want to see if I could just continue to maybe increase the time until it gets to the point where it's too easy. And then I'd probably pinch like, another smaller plate on top of this one and just continue to overload. But that's what we're going to start with. So I'm going to get to that. I'll put a timer in like maybe the top right or something. All right. All right. Whew. The goal is to keep the fingers straight. The thumbs can bend, that's fine, but fingers are supposed to be straight. All right, the thumb's actually got a crazy pump from that, but definitely feeling it already. Right now, the pumped measurement is about 14.5 on the left and 15 on the right. And hopefully that's going to continue to improve even on the cut, especially with this dedicated forearm and hand day. I should probably take my hand measurements like later tonight or something, or maybe in like next Saturday or something, whenever there's no inflammation, just to get an accurate read. We're keeping it light today, or not light. We're keeping it low volume. We're only going to do 2 sets of this pinch. Big fear is just dropping the weight on your feet or something. Try to be really careful about that. All right, next thing we're going to do is the rice bucket, and I hope you guys enjoy the forearm motivation in the background. I think that's Frank McGrath. Dude's got crazy, crazy forearms. But anyway, though, rice bucket now. I'm going to be going like this and this the whole time. And I'm going to try to go, I don't know. We'll see how long is this video to my right. It's 8 minutes. We're going to go until it's finished. Hopefully I'll notice. Or maybe we'll just go until my hand just feels like insanely pumped. So, if I could rate the rice experience, I would say it's probably good as a recovery tool. But I would also say that if you train it hard enough, you could turn it into a real legitimate set that you can probably benefit from over time. I would say that it's really good at getting a pump. And with the assumption that, getting a massive pump over and over again could potentially make your hands balloon up a little, I think this could be useful. Would it grow a lot of muscle tissue necessarily? I don't know. But obviously, the plate pinches, all that type of stuff, the things we're going to do in a minute are going to be the main needle movers, though, because those things are actually very progressible. So with this, it's more of an endurance thing. So I don't know if I would necessarily keep it in for anything other than, endurance type training, or like I said, blood flow, pump, trying to get it for all that kind of stuff. So we're going to move on to grippers and we're going to do a couple interesting things that I'll show you in a second. All right, we're going to start super light with the 100. I'm going to try a couple things. So, number one is going to be closing it like...
Alright guys, starting with theory number one, building the muscles of the hand. You're going to isolate it by using your ring finger and pinky finger. You can also turn it upside down and really work that pinky pad.
I don't know what weight that guy's gripper is, but it's almost certainly not under 100. He's probably doing that with 100 to show us there with his pinky and ring finger. And I mean, I barely just closed it with my pinky and ring finger on 100, so that's pretty nuts. See, I got to build up to get that many reps. That's where a lot of hypertrophy is going to happen, man. I mean, holy crap.
And like I said earlier, the hand does have a few different muscle groups. One being the thumb pad, the other being the top of the thumb, and the third being the pinky pad. So let's start with grippers on how to build those areas. So for me personally, I like to use the smallest and weakest gripper they make. Most people would use a gripper just like you think they should be used. However, if you want to isolate the different muscles of the hand, you're going to have to go outside of the box and use them in a little more unique way. So, to build the thumb pad, this is how I would use my gripper. I would actually turn it upside down, and just like so, I'm now using my thumb to press the gripper down.
There you go. I watched this video the other day and I low-key forgot. Well, I high-key forgot, actually. But, dude. Okay, so he just said... So he just said a little bit ago, I don't know if I'll find the time to edit this in, but he just said that he uses the lightest gripper he can find. So it probably is like 50. But still, the dude's hands are freaking huge. His forearms are massive.
But it can be done. Once again, turn the gripper upside down. Place the gripper in between your thumb and your index finger. And you're actually going to close the gripper sideways using your thumb. Like I said, this is a little more difficult, but it does isolate that little muscle on top.
I can't use the 100, bro. Holy crap. I gotta use the lightest gripper I have, like he's saying. Boys, after a lot of trial and error trying to figure this out, I finally figured out how to do this exercise that this guy in the video is talking about. I'm getting, like, pretty much the majority of these from this guy's video and, like, one or two other guys. But anyway, though, we're trying to hit this, right? This big muscle right here. Well, I mean, it's not really that big on me, but right here, right? We're trying to target that, and you target that by closing this distance. Does that make sense? So you set the gripper in like the guy in the video is showing, like this, behind this knuckle, okay? And he's a lot stronger than me. I'm just going to keep it to one set of each of these because it's going to get a lot of stimulus for me, and I don't want to be getting a ton of absurd amounts of fatigue. So that felt pretty good. You guys could see, hopefully, that this is like pretty massively pumped. I've never seen it looking like that in my life. Pretty cool stuff. Now, we're going to try to hit the pinky pad, as this guy's calling it. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to have to learn the anatomical name. But the pinky pad's pretty gigantic. Or, not really. I mean, it's just a big part of your hand that you don't want to miss. You know what I'm saying? I just realized I have the exact same gripper as this guy, which is pretty cool. Thumb muscle is pumped. Hope you guys could see that. There's definitely something there. Also, I like that I'm hitting failure pretty quickly because I don't like doing, extremely high rep sets because I don't think there's much merit in that according to what we know about current exercise science. Like, yes, if we're trying to maybe get blood flow or whatever, sure. But, like, if we're trying to actually cause mechanical tension, don't waste a ton of reps. All right, if I could rate the thumb pump, I would say it's painful out of painful. And again, we're just trying to experiment here with the form, see what matches my hands best, see what feels the best in general. But I'm definitely feeling that I'm hitting failure on these, which is good, or at least very close.
You're going to isolate it by using your ring finger and pinky finger, only using those two fingers to close the gripper. You can also turn it upside down, grab it, and like I said, make sure it's just the ring finger and the pinky.
Don't cheat, don't cheat. All right. I felt it. You guys can see my hands. I felt it much more on my left there in the actual pinky pad than I did on my right. So that's good. Yeah, I felt it more in my forearm in general on my right, but I felt it on my, whatever this muscle is. All right, boys. So today's workout is going to be cut short. I was thinking, I'm like, man, I'm planning on hitting forearms, and I did get a little bit of forearm work in, right? Obviously from grip work and whatnot and some of the other stuff. But the plan was to definitely try to target hands more so. And most of it was just getting the technique down, getting the movement down, trying to figure out what it feels like to train hard for these muscle groups that are very, strange. But yeah, overall it was successful. I think some movements that I'm going to keep in are all the hand ones that I just did with the grippers and whatnot. And then obviously the plate pinching. And I think that's going to be really easy to stick to and make videos about from now on. The rice is more of like a recovery thing. Definitely worth trying it. It gives you a great pump and everything. But like I said earlier, it's more so for recovery. So, yeah. I will see you guys for chest day tomorrow. Take care.